What's up, guys? Welcome to Double Chat News. It's Dan.
Hey, T.
And we've got one of the most saddest stories here right now. We talk a lot about old couples that pass away within hours, within days of each other. And now it happened to a very young couple. I mean, younger than us, or a little older than you, but definitely younger than me. In their 20s, their whole lives ahead of them. They pass away within days. And they're being called the real Fault in Our Stars couple.
Real life Fault in Our Stars couple.
Right. I didn't watch the movie. I'm well aware of the phenomenon of that book amongst the young teens demographic, as well as the movie. I read stuff about it. I just didn't want to watch it on purpose.
Because you were going to cry.
The thing is, I just don't like those kind of movies. And Mike loves those kind of movies. You know, A Walk to Remember.
I watched that.
I'm like, I know she's gonna die. Why do I want to subject myself through this pain? And a lot of people will be like, well, it's inspiring. I agree. Like, for some people, it's also inspiring, it's uplifting. But for me personally, I just don't want to watch it. So I read the synopsis of The Fault in Our Stars, and I'm literally like, oh my gosh, she's sick, he's sick, their friends are sick, they're all dying, and one of them, breaks up with someone else, and they go find the guy who wrote the novel, and he appears to be a bitter old man. I'm just like, this is sad.
It's really sad. Yeah, everything is really sad. And I don't know, but this story is obviously really, really sad, but it's also sort of sweet because this couple, right, they've been together for a long time, they've been in love, and they have the same disease, cystic fibrosis, which actually affects the lungs as well as the intestines, and it's basically, there's no cure for it.
These two had a really bad case of it. Dalton, which is the guy's name, actually needed a lung transplant. And then Katie, she was supposed to get one, but then it was delayed, and then she eventually got one.
But apparently both of their cases, it failed because their bodies rejected. Exactly. As with sometimes when you get transplants, your body rejects the transplant. Happens quite a lot, and it's just a terrible, terrible situation.
Yeah.
But they're married, so they got married when they were younger, I guess, because they love each other, and also probably because they also knew they had this disease, so they wanted to be together for a long time, as long as they could. But eventually, I think they were actually separated because the doctors were kind of afraid that they were going to pass an infection onto each other. Yeah. So I don't believe that they passed away together. No. However, I think that the woman, Katie, she died surrounded by family and her friends and people who cared about her. Oh, and so the man, Dalton
died first.
He died first, and then when she died, her family was like, we know that she's going to heaven, and he'll be waiting for her there. And then you're just like, who's cutting onions? Ninjas are cutting onions in this room,
Oh my gosh. This is the silver lining, like you said. I feel like the silver lining is they met each other, and the way they met each other. I mean, I think this is even way better than the book. Obviously, this is like real life. Not comparing the book in real life. I'm just saying, like, this, you couldn't have even written this. Either the guy or the girl found. I think the girl found the guy. So Katie found Dalton on like a Facebook group where cystic fibrosis people who have that. It's like a support group, and she messaged them. They met, fell in love immediately. Basically, started dating, got married at a young age, and they've been through so much together. And the silver lining, of course, is they towards the end of their life, they had a lot of people, mostly strangers, donate money that were in the thousands.
And donate blood too.
Donate blood, donate money. They were able to raise awareness. I've heard of cystic fibrosis. I have no idea what it does or how it affects you. And because of this, I went online, looked it up, and it is a horrible, horrible illness. Horrible. I mean, you just don't want to see this on anyone, And of course, they got it the worst. They're saying that with the medical technology these days, people can live into their 40s and 50s with this, but it's not a good life.
No.
And usually you're assisted by oxygen. Like, you have to carry around an oxygen tank. That what cystic fibrosis does is there's tons of mucus in your lungs and in your passageways, right? And it basically clogs up a lot of stuff, and it gets infected. I mean, it is horrible. So towards the end, they got so much support from people and raised a lot of awareness. And from their folks, from what their family's saying, is they both passed away happy, lived their life to the fullest, and of course believed that they were going to meet each other in heaven. Yeah. Which is I mean with something like that so young, like, I mean, that's that's the best we can hope for.
Yeah. And apparently they've been living separate. They've been in a long distance relationship, so they were only recently united, you know. So I mean, I wish that they could have had more time together, but you know, a lot of times, you know, that's just the way that it was. But at least they found somebody. You know, they found each other. Definitely. Not a lot of people can find their soulmate, especially when you're that young. So I feel like it's kind of sweet, and I mean, it's really, really sad that they died at such a young age.
Oh,
you know?
my gosh.
But because of this story, I feel like a lot of people are looking up the disease, looking up ways to help people with cystic fibrosis. And you know, the family of this couple has been reaching out to everyone saying, you know, we're really thankful for the support that they got. Please help spread the message. Please help raise awareness about this disease so that other people who have this could receive support too. You know, so I think that that's a really great message. And they were like, you don't even have to like donate money or anything. You just spread awareness, and you know, and they're just asking for and do a kind thing. And I think that's really,
and like the outlook of these young teens are so positive. Like I think it was Dalton who said, like, because of the disease and the transplant, he needed so much blood, like all the time, to be donated so that he could have enough blood to recuperate. And he was like, I feel like each person that donated blood, you know, he's like, I really feel a connection.
He's like, everyone's my family because everyone's blood is running through his veins or something. Yeah.
I mean, wow. You know, like, so the maturity that this young couple exhibited was just beyond the stars.
What the heck? That was
That was a bad pun. That was such a bad pun. I'm really bad at puns. But anyway, so this is so touching, and it's so heartbreaking because they had to live apart for they lived apart for many years because she needed certain help in this area, and he needed care in this area. And I think she lived in Kentucky and he lived in Missouri, or is the other way around. But they were only reunited for just a brief moment before they both passed away. But oh my gosh, at least I feel like their story though will continue to inspire a lot of people and help people know about the disease. So anyways, guys, let us know what you think about this story, and thanks for watching. Bye.